Where have I been? Oh man, it has been a crazy month or so. I don't remember when the last episode of Nuzlocke was put up. But anyway, I've been going through a lot. I've been dealing with some personal issues, mild depression in a sense, just because of life. My friend said I shouldn't use the word depression because I'm not suicidal and I haven't been clinically diagnosed with it, but I mean, I was out of it. Like, mentally, I didn't want to do anything for a long time. And I got to thinking, talking with some other friends, and I was reminded of a story that happened. Well, not a story, more like an event. But I'm telling it to you guys, so it's a story. So, back when I was in 7th grade, Valentine's Day, which was a Friday, let me give you guys a little history of that entire year. There was this girl that was interested in me. I wasn't really interested in her, but we had all of our classes together. There was even a side class that, like, we got out of PE to go do this other thing, which we still got credit for. Like, it was an easy A class. We were doing that together as well, so we spent a lot of time together. And she ended up developing feelings for me. I was a stupid kid. I was just going about my life. Yeah, I was interested in girls, but I didn't really see her that way. She was more of a classmate, not even a friend, a classmate. And I wasn't really interested. Anyway, she would always say, how much she liked me, in a sense. Like, she wouldn't come out and say, I really like you, yada yada yada, but like, you could tell, and she told other people, so it kind of got around. Anyway, fast forward to Valentine's Day. Like I said, it was a Friday, and what ended up happening was I walk into the classroom, and on my desk, it's like this bear, it's some candy, and like this Valentine's Day stuff. And I'm just like, who gave this to me? Like, really? Like, I didn't think anyone was interested in me. Like I said, I was a stupid kid. I knew, but I didn't really know how serious it was. Anyway, I have this candy and I have a bear on my desk. And as the stupid kid that I was, I looked at my friends. I'm like, yo, you guys want some candy? I'm passing it around. It was a lot of candy, so I passed it around to all my friends. And like, I got the bear on my desk and I'm just like, whatever. So I put it in my desk. And what followed kind of helped me grow up. Throughout the day, no one said anything to me, but for whatever reason, we had to go back to homeroom. And I walk into the classroom, and the girl that liked me is sitting at her desk crying with her best friend, like, over there comforting her. I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, yo, why is she crying? And her best friend's just like, no, she's okay, don't worry about it. So like I said, I was oblivious to it, and I go sit at my desk, and my friend leans over to me. He's like, yo, did you check on her, like, while she's crying? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I asked, but, they just said she was okay, so I left it alone. And they're like, she's crying because of what you did. It's like, what did I do? Like, I haven't talked to her all day. Like, that's why she's upset? It's not because you haven't talked to her. It's because, like, you just shunned her gift. I'm like, wait. That gift was from her? Like, why did she get me the gift? And it's like, dude, are you that dumb? Like, she really, really, really likes you. And like I said, I'm a stupid kid. I had no idea, like, how much she really liked me. So after I realized it, I felt horrible. Like, I didn't know what I could do, what I could say to make it up to her. And even to this day, like, I have a really bad way with words. So I couldn't just, like, walk up to her and say sorry. The only way I knew how to say sorry was through an action. So over the weekend, I went to this jewelry store and I bought, like, this little bracelet. I think it was a bracelet, maybe it was a necklace. That was like $20. And then on the Monday after, I put it in her desk with a apology note. And like I said, man, I felt horrible. And what ended up happening after was, like, there was no acknowledgement of it. So I just kind of like let it go. Later in the week, like I said, we had this other activity that got us out of PE. What that activity was, we were kind of like Crime Stoppers in a sense. Like basically the only thing we did though during the PE period was we would either, somebody would walk around campus just to make sure no one was skipping class, and then the rest of the people would sit at the doors at the bathroom so we could sign people in and out, make sure they're not skipping, that they have a hall pass, what have you. So that's where we went during that period, and the deputy, because we all worked under the deputy stopped me before I went to where I was supposed to go, and he said to me, yo, I need to talk to you. So basically the whole thing got around canvas as to what happened on Valentine's Day, and it got back to him. So he talked to me, and it was one of those like, listen man, you gotta grow up. This is the way life is. This girl, in a sense, poured her heart out to you, and you just took it and stepped on it and kept it moving. And that whole situation helped me to grow up. It kind of made me realize, like, you gotta listen, you gotta pay attention, and you just have to understand things. What this has to do with what's going on now is I am now kind of in her shoes. Like that girl from 7th grade, I was kind of in her shoes. When I went on the cruise, I met this girl, you know, talked to her here and there. I didn't spend the entire 3 or 4 days there with her. I spent majority of the time with my friends, but I would see her from time to time and talk to her for like 15 or 20 minutes and then keep it moving. What ended up happening though, like she had a boyfriend. So I knew there was nothing I could do. Like I said, this was a cruise. Like, you meet somebody on a cruise, that's the end of that. You wash your hands with it, you forget about it. But the little bit of time that I did spend with this girl and that I talked to her, I felt a connection in a sense. And so I gave her my number at the end of the cruise. I was like, listen, I know you have a boyfriend. By the way, her boyfriend was not on the cruise. But I told her, I know you have a boyfriend. I understand that. I'm not one that's going to try to make you break up with your boyfriend. I've never been that guy, and I never will be that guy. But I told her, it's like, you know, I feel a connection, so I'm going to give you my number. If you want to text me, call me, what have you, here it is. I'm not going to ask you for your number because that is not the kind of person I want to be. So I left it at that. I got off the cruise, and that was the end of that. You know, me and my friends, we talked about our stories from the cruise or whatever. The following week, I got a text message from the girl from the cruise, and we had been talking. Like, it wasn't a lot of talking because, like I said, she has a boyfriend, so it was mostly text messages here and there, and it was one of those things, like, you're a kid, you want something that you can't have, and that's what it was for me. Like, I wasn't talking to her every day. It was like 2-3 times a week at the most, but it hurt. I finally understood what that girl in 7th grade went through with me, and I don't want to say it was like karma coming back at me, but it was just an enlightening moment that made me realize, like, you have to take everything, you have to, honestly, I don't know what it made me feel. It made me feel different, and knowing I couldn't have this girl kind of hurt. But, you know, me and this girl never told each other where we lived. So what ended up happening one day is I was listening to the radio on my way to work, and it's more like a morning, you know, it's one of those morning talk shows where, you know, they say, it's a local radio station, and, you know, they mostly talk about events that's going on. They try to get listeners involved so people will call. And one day, I'm on my way to work, and someone called in because there was some, whatever the story was on the radio. Someone called in, and, you know, they'll ask somebody what their name is. If they don't want to give their name, they won't give the name. But the person gave their name, and they said the girl's name. It was her name. You know, it was a common name, so I'm just like, it's not her. And then she started to talk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's her. Like, she lives in my area, sort of. Like, it's a big radio network in this area. So I was just like, but she lives pretty close. And it kind of like made me happy, because it meant I had a chance with this girl. Like, I knew she was in a relationship. I knew it, but it gave me hope. And so I asked her, I was like, hey, do you live here? She was like, how do you know? I was like, I just heard you on the radio. She was like, so you live here? I was like, yeah, I do. I mean, I've lived here pretty much my whole life outside of college. So it gave us another thing to connect on, and it kind of like brought hope to me. I was so happy. So we're talking back and forth again, and earlier this week, she called me, and she says, hey, what are you doing on Saturday? I said, I mean, I don't really have anything planned. What's up? She's like, you want to get together and do something? I'm like, sure. Like I said, like, I'm really into this girl. Like, I understand she had a boyfriend, so I brought it up. I asked her, I was like, but what about your boyfriend? Like, I don't want to be that guy. She says, don't worry about it. He's out of town for a while. I just want to hang out. There won't be, anything really going on. I need to get out. So I was like, sure, no big deal. I should have said no. Like I said, I don't want to be that guy to go after somebody else's girl. It's not a good thing to do, and I never want to be that guy, but I have an opportunity to get closure, be happy in a sense. And so I jumped for it. So after the fact, what ended up happening, we met up on Saturday. We met up Saturday morning. We got brunch at this place like I knew about. So, we spent like an hour there eating and talking. We had already planned to go to the aquarium, and the aquarium was right next to this, well, not right next to it, but it was pretty close to this brunch place. So we got in my car and we drove over to the aquarium, and we spent a couple hours there. And she told me a story about her personal life that kind of made me feel like she's really comfortable with me. She really trusts me. Like, she likes me. That's the way I felt about it, with that story. So as the day is ending, I'm getting ready to leave. I look at her and I tell her, it's like, listen, like, over the last couple weeks I've gotten to know you, and even today is even better, and I really do like you. What I want to do is I want to kiss you, but because you're in a relationship, that's not something I can do. It's not respectful. It's not the right thing to do, so I'm not going to do it. But I wanted to let you know how I felt. And she says to me, I completely understand. Like, I do have some kind of feelings for you, and if I wasn't in a relationship, I think we could make this work, but just know it kind of hurt both of us as we were getting ready to leave. And I really don't know how to feel right now. It's like, I'm kind of happy that I was able to meet someone so great, but like I said, I can't have her. You're a kid that wants something you can't have. And I told her, I was like, I can't be that guy, because what I would do, I would try to take you away from your boyfriend, and I'm not going to be that guy. I can't be that guy, because I wouldn't want someone to do it to me. So I told her, it's like, you're not going to hear from me again. If you text me just to spark up conversation, I won't respond. If you call me, I'm going to ignore the call. Like, it was a bad thing to say, but out of respect for her boyfriend, like, it was the right thing to say. And she completely understood. Like, she started to cry a little bit, and she understood. And I told her, the only way I can ever truly talk to you again is if I know that you and your boyfriend are completely done. And given the fact that she had told me that they had only been together for a few months, it was possible, but at the same time, like, I knew it wasn't going to happen, because it's you work on your relationship. You don't just, when somebody else comes, you drop it and go to that person. That's not what you do. And she's a good person. So it hurt to have to leave her, and I called my best friend, and I was like, I told him about the day, and man, like, I wanted to relive those 4 or 5 hours for as long as I could. And that's why I brought up the 7th grade story, is because I finally understand what that girl went through. It's like she had these feelings for a guy who wanted nothing to do with her. I mean, it's not the same because, you know, me and this girl had mutual feelings, but neither one of us could have who we wanted. And it's just horrible feeling. It's like, I can laugh about it, but it's a horrible feeling. Like the entire month after the cruise, that's how I've been feeling. Like and then it was just personified yesterday. So it hurts. It really does. But I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I felt the need to tell you guys this story. Why I felt the need to let you in. But I think I just needed to talk about it more than just to my best friend, because he told me what I needed to hear. That's what friends do. You tell your friends what you need to hear. But I think just to get it off my chest even more, not to tell 1 or 2 people about it, to tell everybody. And I don't know. But I mean, I learned at that very moment in 7th grade, like when I realized I hurt that girl, like I was just like, I can never hurt another girl. When I realized that girl was crying over me, I realized, like, I never want to see another girl cry. Like, if I see a woman crying, my immediate reaction is to go to her and just to make sure everything's okay. If she's crying over me, I feel horrible. And like I said, the girl last night was crying when we were leaving, but it wasn't something I did wrong. It was, at least I believe, it was because we both wanted something we couldn't have. So take this story as you want. You can make fun of me for being a sap. You can cry for me for being hurt. I don't really care. I mean, I guess you could say I'm finally happy. I got my peace. So that's where I've been the past month or so. Like, I've just been dealing with this uncertainty of not being able to have what I want. That and dealing with work bullshit, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this little DBZ video, Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2. It's a fun game. I never finished the first one, so I probably should have did that before I actually went and bought this, but it is what it is. So yeah, man, hope you guys enjoyed the Dragon Ball Z gameplay. Maybe I'll have some more coming to the channel. Depends on how I feel. Anyway, this is Link's Forte. Sun and Moon dropping in 19 days, I think it is. Let me check my phone real quick. Hold on. Let me check this app where I have GameStop app. Pull up pre-orders. Yep, Sun and Moon dropping in 19 days. So that will definitely be on the channel. I said the demo was going to be on the channel, but everybody uploaded the demo, man. Like, it was pointless to upload it when everybody else was uploading it. So it just didn't get uploaded. There are some thoughts I have regarding it. It's just me trying to figure out what it is I want to say. So now a real outro. This is Link's Forte, man. I'm out. Peace.